Okay, welcome back. Another episode.
I don't even know what episode we're on anymore. We've done this a few times now, Adam.
Yeah, oh yeah. I would say, I think eight or nine, somewhere around there.
Feels like at least 15.
1500.
Well, we want to talk about something that I think is near and dear to your heart, which is standing out.
Oh, yes.
And
I
how do you,
love standing out.
yes, you're not known as a wallflower. So let's talk about that. How do we stand out as realtors? I heard last week that 500,000 people registered for real estate school in the month of November across the United States. 500,000. If only, 20% of those people actually see it through and become a realtor, that's 100,000 new realtors to compete with.
Thank you for doing the math for me.
Yeah, well, they're going to work and they're going to be trying to lower our commission rates because they're going to want to go after anything they can. And in the absence of skills, all you have is price to compete on, right?
Yeah.
So how do you stand out? How do you make it not about price? How do you win a listing or a buyer based on you?
I always start with writing out a list of writing out like what are the services that you provide and looking at how is it that you do it differently. What is it that you do or what is it that you want to do differently, and realizing that I always use the analogy of looking at your value and understanding that some people are going to cut their price. There's always going to be a Walmart and there's always going to be a Louis Vuitton. And if you look at the overall experience and what you get and the value for it, that's what I want to focus on. And understanding that even if we use that same analogy, I mean, there's new designers coming to the market all the time, but yet they still succeed at a high level. And why is that?
They differentiate themselves.
Exactly.
They find a niche. So I would argue that your superpower is, or one of your superpowers, is being able to deliver a tough message in a very lighthearted but genuine way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a huge asset that you have, and that most realtors have to figure out how they're going to do that. We don't always get to call and say, you won and you're the highest bid, but it only went to asking. You didn't even have to overpay, things like that. We have to deliver some tough news sometimes. And unfortunately, a lot of lenders or title people put us in the position where we have to be the ones doing it because they're just sitting and scared of the client or scared of whatever's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So the relationships with us and that onus falls on us. Tell us how that has really helped you.
I always focus on listening first and listening to understand, get where they're coming from. Really, the way that I would kind of look at things is understanding that, yes, we're their fiduciary. And what that means is that I literally have to play the role of my client. So kind of looking at their personality and their perspective and putting on this other personality of being my client and realizing, okay, well, if it were them, how would they react? What would they do? And how would I present this information to them? Everybody always says, oh, the golden rule is, treat others like you want to be treated. No. It's the platinum rule, is treat people how they want to be treated, because everybody's different. And it's really understanding their personalities. I love looking and understanding at the DISC assessment and realizing how it is that I need to present the same information completely different to different people's personalities. And that's one of the things that I really focused on, is not being different, but being similar to them.
Well, and so if I don't think that's a superpower of mine, and I don't know how to work on that, which we're not suggesting you do, where do I begin trying to find my value and how I can have a value proposition different than maybe you or me or everyone else in my office?
I would start by questioning yourself
So
deeply.
why did I get into real estate?
Why are you doing it? And what makes you different? How does that make you different? What is it that you're going to do? What is it you're not going to do?
Yeah.
If you're not going to do it, why are you not going to do it?
I
And
mean, if you're in architecture, then be the best at explaining architecture. But
Mhm.
if you're a finance person, and you have an econ degree, but and you don't, those are columns on the house, but you don't know, the style or anything like that. Well, you better lean in and be the best there is at explaining the financial side of the transaction, or you
Yeah.
better be the best at explaining the architecture side of the transaction to people. Uh, Make sure your help, those things are coming through is my suggestion. And you know what? Some people don't need you to be all the things.
No.
Most clients aren't looking for that. They're looking for someone that's just a really incredible professional that returns a phone call, that is honest when they don't know the answer off the bat.
Mhm. Yeah, a lot of it is being upfront, being honest, and also focusing on the overall client experience from start to finish. One of the great books that I've read was Selling the Invisible by Harry Beckwith. And in there, he talks about selling a service. That's what we first need to focus on. Is a lot of agents watch HGTV and they have this marketing myopia that they are selling sticks and bricks. You're not.
False.
You're not. You're selling yourself as a service. And so we have to look at what are all the different attributes and aspects that we can do to set ourselves apart. For me, yes, obviously I'm techie. I've got, my iPad, I've got my MacBook that I'm on now, I've got my iPhone here, I've got an Apple Watch somewhere, I don't know. But I also love printing things out. For me, I'm a very tangible type of person, and I like to look at things. I'm not going to read it. I just want to look at it and have it. And so when I'm doing a presentation for a buyer consultation or for a listing presentation, I focus on what am I printing out? What's the brightness of the paper? What's the thickness of the paper? How am I binding it? How am I
Yeah.
delivering it to them? It's something like that I'm focusing on is my overall complete experience.
You still spraying your property brochures with Tom Ford?
No, it's Louis Vuitton.
Oh boy.
But
There it
I
goes.
joke, yes, I've done that. Yes,
Yeah, I know you have. Maybe in a
guaranteed.
pet. Yeah.
And
Okay.
Jeffrey, we can even go looking back to when I applied to work with you. Did
Yep.
you get a resume from me?
I got a book
Book.
of your accomplishments,
Yes. And it was
the trials and tribulations of
it
Adam
was
Stahura.
full lead. It was soft
It
touch.
was.
It was
It
everything.
only had 5 spelling mistakes,
Only five.
but it
Only
looked
five per
good.
page.
But it looked good. No,
Yeah.
it looked great. It had a great presentation. It felt good in your hand. There was obviously a lot of care that went into it, and you were delivering me a message, and anyone who received that a message. So let's talk about brand new agents.
Mhm.
Maybe I don't know about the transaction a lot. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't know a lot about architecture or finance, and I'm really just questioning uh, what is the most powerful thing I can do if I'm in my first handful of transactions getting started in real estate?
First is I hear agents all the time that are super nervous and say, well, I just don't know enough. But here's the thing is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's first and
Yeah,
foremost.
I love that. I love it. That's professionalism, right?
Mhm.
It's being there for them. That's being honest.
Yeah. And the other thing I hear is, oh, we'll just fake it till you make it. No,
This isn't a business where you
no,
can fake things.
no. Like you can have the confidence, and so you can fake the confidence, but don't fake the knowledge. I see people all that. I was just talking to an agent that actually used to work with us, and he's now at a different company. And he was saying, oh, well, I can just tell him this, or I can just do that, or I mean, as long as the state doesn't find out, I'm okay. And I'm like, no, not at all. And
Whew.
And I'm just saying, if you're doing that with your own business and your own properties, and other people find out about that, that might be, they might think, yeah, that's cool for you. However, if you're representing me, what else are you doing? It's that, our clients have kind of that internal dialogue with themselves. Externally, oh, that's cool, that's great. Internally, they're like, no, run. And
Yeah,
so,
we're not selling jeans here.
no, we want to make sure
This is
that
a
we have
big
a very
purchase.
concise message. Don't make it up. Be confident in what you know, but you don't have to know everything.
I agree.
If
I
you
think
do
one of
know
the best
everything,
things,
that's what worries me.
I think one of the best things you can say when you don't know the answer is, you know, I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Is it okay if I call you back um, within the next 2 hours with the answer? I want to run it by my broker or my, you know, uh, favorite lender. I want to call a title company, my favorite title rep, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you could do. And I think you earn so many points in the client's eyes to not just be spewing nonsense.
Yeah. And one of the other good ways that I've learned about what it is that differentiates me is sometimes I don't even have to tell people what differentiates me. I can just ask them what's important to you in an agent, and then listening. Say, well, what are three things that you're looking for in your next agent? And they'll
Great
tell me,
point.
oh, well, I'm looking for this, this, and this. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Let me share with you how I do this, this, and this. It's
They gave
exactly,
you the answers to the test.
yeah, it's the easiest thing. And
Well,
then from there,
great.
I've learned, don't talk past the close.
Well, I'm trying to keep you from talking past the close because I think you nailed it there. So let's evolve this in from setting ourselves apart as an agent to setting our listings apart.
Mhm.
And I think that there's so much room right now. There's so much room in the market to do something a little different, to help your client's home stand out when it's sold. We see some great ideas on television. They're a little wacky. On
Mhm.
it on Inman News, we see people that do stupid things like take pictures of themselves partially barely clothed. That did not work out for that guy. The people at the listing were really unhappy. But anyway, what should we be doing? How should we be setting ourselves apart? Why are people still taking 15 photos on a 3,000 square foot home? Why are we not having more video? Why are we having open houses that are boring?
Yeah. I really think that we need to be focusing on the experience. And Glenda Baker from Atlanta, she had said it best when she was like, listen, you've got your photos, use all the photos you can, use a floor plan. In the description, that's where you really need to start selling on the lifestyle. Don't just repeat what's already written there. This gorgeous 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 4,000 square foot house. No, we see what it is.
Right.
Kind of understanding and kind of helping pull people into the vision, realizing that real estate, especially residential real estate, is very emotional. And figuring out, how do we sell on the emotion? What
Yeah.
can we do to kind of pull this in?
Yeah. Apple, the book Talk Like TED, uh, they talk about how Apple does not sell that it has 250 gigabytes of memory or
Mhm.
storage on the phone, right? It talks about how many photos you're going to be able to hold,
Yeah.
how many years of email it will archive. The screen isn't the resolution or 1080p 4K. It's all about how many, it's about color depth and how precise, and the names of their screens are totally different than what you see on Samsung or other competitors,
Yeah.
that make, true depth and uh, real view and things like that are making you think that, okay, this is the real thing. I don't
Mhm.
need to know the numbers. They're selling the benefits, not the features. And I
Exactly.
think that that's where you write your description.
That's one of the
So,
things that my grandpa has always told me is agents will just walk in and they'll feature dump. They'll just listing features one after another. But really, you've got to
right.
understand what's the advantage of that feature. And more specifically, what's the personal benefit to that feature?
Right.
That's where you're really going to notice the difference. People don't buy
Oh,
features, they buy benefits.
right. They don't buy a 50-gallon jacuzzi tub,
Nah.
right?
I don't want to explain the benefit of that one.
Well, if they're an athlete, I mean, if they walk into my open house and they're an athlete,
Mhm.
great way to relax and rejuvenate after you work out, sore muscles, things like that. Fill a sucker up with ice. All kinds of great ways you can avoid where you were going, not me.
Hey, I said make the benefit personal. My benefit might be different than somebody else's.
We don't need to know your benefits. It's a family show. So open houses, God, these are just missed opportunities in my mind. What can we be doing to make open houses more impactful?
Here's what you can start by doing is, you've all been there before, where we drive onto the car lot and you see the guy running towards you to try to chase you down and sell you a new car. That's what I feel like walking into an open house. I know that there's going to be a realtor on there who's going to say, I need you to sign in on this paper, and I need you to do this, and let's go ahead and write an offer and sell this house today. No.
Well,
for me, it's an experience. Knowing I'm selling myself and helping make a connection and build that relationship. And so I want to tear down those walls of awkwardness. Nobody wants to be sold. They just want to be shopping with a friend.
I agree. But Adam, it's a seller's market. You can basically just put up an open house sign and people are going to flock there no matter what, even if it stinks, even if it's boring. Why go to this effort?
It's building that relationship, building your leads, adding them, even if we don't want to call them leads, fine. That's what it is. It's
building your sphere, your Met database.
Into your database and continuing to nurture that relationship. And I know that every single person that walks into that house, they're not looking to buy today. It might be 14 years from now, but I still want to make sure in 14 years, when they are ready to buy, they know that they're coming to work with me. So I'm doing it to grow my database and meet more people.
I think back to the movie I Love You, Man. And his open houses with his chicken paninis with the chipotle aioli that were just revelations to Jason Segel, if you recall. And I think we get all hung up on the wrong parts of the experience, right? They got hung up on food. They didn't get hung up on listening. It's the really not sexy stuff, like listening and engaging with clients, not just bring a Bluetooth speaker and sitting on the sofa and doing, words with friends or whatever the heck people do on their phones, reading the news while people walk through. I mean, when someone walks into your open house, what are you doing? Do you say, go sign in on that clipboard over there, please? Thank you.
No, I definitely don't have anyone sign in. I don't have sign-in sheets. I don't have
but you need to capture their info.
Anything. And it just starts with the conversation. So when somebody walks in the front door, I have the same 3 steps that I do every single time. Is first, I want to welcome to such and such property.
Thank you.
2, thank you for taking time out of your day to stop by. I appreciate that. And then 3, my name is Adam, and I'm here to help you if you guys need anything at all. Would you like me to walk you around the property? Would you like to experience it for yourself?
Great. I'll just walk around, experience it for myself.
Good. And then I'll let them do that. And I like to have one little fun thing that I'll talk to them about. Oh, while you're on the second level, go out on the balcony and you can see straight down the street all the way to downtown. It's an amazing have your Snapchat ready because it's awesome. You're going to want to take pictures while you're up there. Of course, if y'all need anything, just yell out. I'll be right down here in the kitchen.
Much, much better experience.
Yeah.
Really nice. You gave them the room to walk around. You gave them, you give them opportunities to speak.
It's immediately lowering the wall.
Yeah, you disarm them.
Yeah. And just letting them be like, okay, cool. Let's relax. Let's be chill. Let's walk through this. And of course, then once they're done, they're going to come back and they're going to ask some silly question like,
How many square feet is the closet in the master
yeah,
bedroom?
yeah, no, they usually ask the price.
4.
And well, that's a great question. I thought you'd never ask. You're going to make an offer right now, aren't you? All cash, I bet. Let me do this. I have a virtual brochure. I will actually text it to you right now.
Oh, how green of you. What's my what?
What's your cell phone number? And I'll text it to you right now.
Yeah.
And it's just my website. I'm just texting them a link that has all my information on there. And then I can continue on building rapport, building that relationship, talking a little bit more.
You're organically getting information from them when you go to give them something.
It's an in-person click funnel. It's literally all it is.
Love that.
Like they walk in, here's my landing page. I haven't asked for anything yet, but here it is.
So the
And
property is your
check it out,
landing page.
And they're like,
yeah,
cool, what's next? I need your phone number to get what's next.
gotcha.
And then now I need your email for this next part. We need like just organically growing it in an in-person click funnel. It's literally it.
Well, I think this was great. I heard a lot of great stuff here, Adam. I hate to cut this off, but I think we really, without getting into open houses, we talked about some real opportunities to make your listing stand out, to make you stand out as an agent, and to really just build trust.
Yeah.
Build trust with the client, build trust with potential future clients. Well, I think you did it again. Great work.
Awesome. We'll talk to you next week.
All right.